front run of the front run and the front run. Let's go over it now that I don't have breakfast on my shirt. Actually, what is on my shirt? No, I have something else. It's a leaf. A dead leaf. How did I get a dead leaf on me? All right. Very simple. Weekly and daily open. We're going to zoom in. This is the same channel that I was using during the YouTube live stream and during the VIP live chat. And here is the daily. Here is the weekly. They're at the same area. Do you notice anything interesting about the current weekly candle? Besides, it's red, okay, but that's common. It's got a 50, like candles have a 50% chance of being red no matter what, like essentially, on average, over time. Well, actually, that might not be true with an asset that's generally up. You know what I'm talking about. What's interesting about this? No wick. It's a bear butt. Do you get very many bear butt candles at what might be the top of a move? No, you don't. It's more common that this is up higher and then it goes down. Oh, so at the top, if you on the weekly and daily, if you just go any place on Solana price, BNB price, crypto or any crypto, essentially, you're at the top of major moves on a large time frame like the weekly or daily. If you see the top of a mountain, there are usually two candles there, depending on the time frame, usually. And they're often, the candle bodies are very close to each other. They're not like this, or it's not like this. The candle bodies are there, and then the wicks poking out from there also are usually pretty close to each other, but usually have like twin peaks if you zoom into the top, right? And so what is happening here? This means like, you know, this candle is not the top. However, if this pops up, then goes back down again, then you could say, you know what? The chance of this being a top is pretty high. But to be honest with you, if that doesn't happen, it goes up, creates a wick, then turns red again. Until that happens, it's probable that this general 2-week candle area, that's not the top of this move. Does that mean you can't trade down this week and then it flips green, right? Like maybe. However, I would kind of suggest against that until this blue line is broken on a small time frame, like the 5-minute or 15-minute or something, maybe even 1 minute. Probably short that twice on the 1 minute if it goes below there. So it has no wick. Just look in time at every top. Like this doesn't happen. This happens as it's falling off of a cliff, but the cliff is not the top. A cliff is you hit the top, you've gone down, you level out, then fall more. So that's when that kind of stuff happens and it just keeps going. Then the next one barely backfills and goes again. Yes, but at the top of a move, that is not how it works. Price does not move that way. Now what could happen is you get this closes like this, then the next one comes up and then flips red. Then you have kind of your twin tweezers with a spacer in the middle. That happens a lot, but it's not the most common way. That could happen as well. It's less likely though. Like it's more likely just to be another green candle and then it does its twin peaks. So as of right now, until this creates a wick, then flips red, I'm thinking this has, I would guess that there are minimum 3 weeks. So 3 weeks or greater until you could be in a short that you could just hold on to for weeks. I don't think this is the opportunity. And that is, I mean, if you want to see what I'm talking about, and I'm not doing the front run of the front run yet, but I'm showing you why, like I would front run for long, not short. Like yeah, shorting the 5-minute, okay, for a 2% play. Yeah, that's fine too. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something you can short and hold, right? Specifically. Look at that. That's exactly what we're dealing with. Big candle down, boom, 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 higher high. How many weeks longer did it take? This is exactly what I'm talking about. The first one, boom. It took 70 days. That's what I'm saying, 3 weeks or greater. We are looking at this right now. This is not how you form a top. Tops in Bitcoin do not form this way. The whales don't allow it. They don't allow it. Now, can they allow it and make that happen in the future? Sure, but it'd have to become a pattern. But right now the pattern is that's not the top. And it's not even close to being changing. Is it possible that a top could form like that? Yeah, but try to find one. You're not going to. Watch it make me a liar. Close, but it was the third candle. And if you zoomed in, I guarantee it fell off a cliff. That only happens when you get a clip. See how there's no wick up? Look, see that wick is tiny? That doesn't happen at tops. I'm telling you, it doesn't, because the whales try to take your money first. They clear out the shorts. That's why the red wicks, look at this red wick. That's a perfect example. That is the most common way. The second most common way is that this also had a green wick up, often higher, sometimes not, but it often is. So either the red wick is the highest or the white wick's the highest, but still you have a wick and a wick, twin peaks. So because that didn't have one, you got the twin peak there. And then it, on the smaller time scale, probably at that wick right there is where it was trying to bounce around, and then it fell off from, I bet you that's exactly what happened. Watch. I don't know, but let's zoom into the, how far back is that? That's pretty far back. Let's go to the 8 hour. Just to prove a point, hopefully prove a point. It's rare that these moments bite me in the butt, but at least I'm not live. Exactly. Yes. Look. See that? Boom. Look at that. Shazam. Low. See that? That's exactly what happened. Bam. So that's why this is not the top. Unless it goes up, creates the wick, then flips right again. Oh, thank you. My Slim Jim that you were talking about yesterday. Right after I eat my second breakfast. Because now I can actually eat. I've been eating like a pig. I'm going to get fat, everybody. Like, oh my gosh. Even though my abs are still really rippling. Even the side striations are just going, just, man. And I was dehydrated on top of that. Like, I was so ripped, but I was not healthy. It was not a good ripped. But my stomach looked really good. And still does for now. But it's not going to in a week. All right, so point proven. And that's why I'm trying to compel you, like, if you're short right now, it's not going to be the big short. That's not the way price moves, but there is a chance that it does come true. The wick flips green, creates a wick, then turns red. It's still possible. And so actually, yeah, it's actually very possible that happens. It can happen. And that would be a great short signal. It goes up, then the wick flips red again, and then the micro time frames bump its head on the weekly line. Oh my gosh, that would be a beautiful short. And that can happen all this week. All right, so, but for today or, I don't know, through Wednesday, Thursday, is this. First, from the calendar, realize that 18th and 19th is an economic event dead zone. So something you need to remember always and forever about it's called playground theory. I invented it. It's probably got a more... So whenever I come up with my own theories that are usually correct, not always, I've proven myself wrong many times, but when I make a theory, it only becomes a theory because I've evolved it from a thought to an opinion, and then it gets upgraded like Pokemon, so, it evolves like power up, right? And that was a Nintendo game where they turned into a wolf or something. Power up! What was that called? Anyway, so the playground theory. Oop, wrong way. Dead zone is no playground. But playground theory is this, is these economic events create the situation where, let's say 3 buses, or maybe like 4 school buses. Imagine big orange, yellow buses, right? At least in America, that's what color the school buses are. Big ass orange bus with a bunch of snot-nosed, booger, sticky hand kids and flipping people off in the windows because they're not gonna, the bus driver doesn't care. That's what I did, and I went to the principal's office when I was in kindergarten. I was one of those kids, yes, until high school, and then I got straight A's. But playground theory is 3 or 4 buses full of snot-nosed kids, and it's the moment where the buses have parked. The bus driver's screaming, "Kids, grab your lunches, we're going to the playground," right? Like a big playground they've never seen, or maybe they've seen a playground before, but this is a big playground. But it's not their school playground. They took them to like a Chicago playground or like the Millennium Park, a big playground. Which is actually, if you've never been to Millennium Park and you live in the Midwest and you have kids, you might lose your kids there, but it's really cool. But imagine that, where's everybody going to go when they first get off the bus? Will they all go to one spot? It depends on the playground. But if the playground has one thing that is obvious the coolest, which is usually a tall slide, and at Millennium Park, a tall slide / bridge. It's like a tower bridge slide. It's the coolest thing for the playground. All the kids, what they're going to do, like little chickens, they're all going to go there. Because it's the biggest, baddest thing, and they haven't been to the playground before. So everybody goes to play at the same place, same time. And then after they wear themselves out, or Monday buy pressure, or like economic event buy pressure, FOMC, blah, blah, then what happens? Then the kids start dispersing, and the energy is not so compact because the kids have different opinions on what is next. What's the second coolest thing to do? By that point, then the kids spread out. And when you spread out and people start buying other assets or just doing other things, so maybe stop trading, they're done for the day, right? Just different things happen. Kids start eating their, like the chubby kids are probably start eat after that, right? I was a chubby kid when I was younger too. I'd probably be eating after that. So they're doing stuff else. And as that disperses, that's like water pressure. Instead of going through one hose, all the kids, they're going through 10 hoses, and the hoses are the same size, so the pressure is just a drip instead of everything all in one hose. Whoa! Playground theory, right? So there's no playground the next 2 days. Price could really go sideways. Okay, so keep that in mind. The front run of the front run, you might not be able to do anything until Thursday the 20th. Right? And this is from the daily update. This is my calendar actually. So look over there. This is kind of what we have going on this week. All right, I messed up right here. I accidentally put like Wednesdays or something over here. But the 26th, there's one thing that's messed up in there, but whatever. Okay, front run of the front run, but keep this in mind. You might want to like think, oh, this is a cool front run, the analogy with punching from the YouTube video, part 1 of the stuff. But I'm telling you, if you don't think it's that cool, because this can ruin the fun and probably will. So the front run of the front run, I'm anticipating happens Wednesday night when you're not at your computer. So therefore you can't trade it, which is literally what's been happening. The entire move happens in 15 minutes and then just goes like this and you're out. And it happened at 7:45. It's probably what's going to happen. But Thursday morning, if that does, it's still going to be volatile because it's playground theory. Okay. So front run of the front run, you might know it and miss it, but still you'll get continuation on this day if it happens. Make sense? That's my guess on what might happen to you if you're trying to play the charts. Okay. With this information. The daily and weekly open line is here. Okay, it's roughly at, and you don't need the exact price just because it's different on different exchanges. Just go to the daily and put a line at the top of the body of the candle, not the wick, the body of the candle. So right now I need to go to the daily. Boom, daily candle, but it's also what? Weekly. That's the weekly. That's the daily. That's the 2-day. That's the 5-day. That's not the monthly though. Monthly's already green. So when the daily, the 2-day, the 5-day, and weekly turn green, plus playground theory, right? That would be like the kids have dispersed and the pressure stops, but then the Chicago had fireworks at the top of the tower. So all the kids go running back to that same first place they went after spreading out. Because something really cool happened at the first place they already visited, got bored from, but now there are fireworks and ducks and pigeons at the top or something cool. And that something cool would be the daily, the 2-day, the 5-day, and the weekly flipping green when you already have a green monthly candle. And you could get the economic event that is the thing that puts it up there, right? That gets it green. And that in the economic event playground theory, what I talked about on Thursday and Friday, no economic events until then, that could stimulate the fireworks, which is the daily, weekly, 2-day, and all that stuff flipping green on top and actually during the playground happening. It could be really explosive. Like this could fly up. It has the chance of doing it. So for short, keep that in mind. And so I would prefer to be long. Actually, I don't know what I prefer. I'm ready for both. I'm ready for both. I think I would prefer to be short though. But my short is super easy. There's no front run, just this. That's it. Take that out. Maybe one more lower high within the lower high. So that's slumpy squared, right? Lower high within a lower high. You would wait for the rejection, couple red candles, maybe start entering, wait for one more bounce somewhere near the punch. So when it goes below, I call that a punch low. And then it goes up and then you get a couple red candles, maybe on the like 15-minute or whatever, you start entering, not the full damn thing, because it's probably going to go like this one more time. And that is a perfect entry, maybe after one red candle, like just somewhere in this area. And get ready to get stopped out if it goes above this line. Just bail. And I would enter some there after a couple red candles and right there at a 45-degree angle, and I would try to do a short from there. Okay? That's what I would do if that were to happen. And so what I'm saying is, look, so sometimes it does get rejected, but then it doesn't take this out. Oh, you can't see. So here the same thing happened, but here's the importance of why I said bail when it gets above that line. Look, you got rejected, went low, but you never took out the punch low. However, I would have been trying to short somewhere about here, because the 45-degree angle, I shorted here, I added there, 45-degree angle. It went a little higher. Now I'm in profit. Okay, I'm in profit more. Probably get stopped out there. But if I'm irresponsible, because I don't use stops, but Tim said, hey, if it goes above this line, get out. Well, there it is. You're out right there. And then you'll probably want to re-enter, oh no, and then you're out again. So don't do that. If it doesn't take out the punch low and it comes back up to this line, I mean, watch out for a higher low. You might want to be long. Okay? That punch low is very important, and knowing when to bail on this idea. That same idea, you would have been stopped out on. That wouldn't have worked. Unless you knew to long that line. And here's a triangle, which I missed. You have a green triangle right there. I missed this. Shit, I did miss that. See this line right here? From this box, this brown box, it's a different color down here because of all these other colors. This is still the same box that this is. So it just, damn it. So obvious. How did I miss that? Oh, well, it was 11 days of sideways. There was nothing to freaking do. So, and this, honestly, it happened all at once. So I would have missed it anyway, even I knew. So anyway, yeah, there's no way I would have gotten that after all that. So really, this was untradeable for humans who don't have $50 million or more. Okay, so short, no front run needed. Just watch out for higher lows. Watch out for, watch out for higher low. you want to get out if that happens too. Okay, but for long, in general, I would like to long this because even if it just comes up here one more time, I mean, that should be tradable. More than 2%? Hell yeah, 5%, way tradable. I would rather be, but how I would prefer to be long for a longer time, like up to 40K beyond here, because that's the explosion fireworks, pigeons, and pinatas and stuff on top of the tower in Millennium Park. That's what this line is. Look, have this on your chart, please. Daily, 2-day, 5-day, weekly candle. And it's probably going to cross red during one of those economic events. You're going to have school bus plus fireworks. It could be very, very violent. And it could end up going down. It can go boom and very aggressive and then jam. So if it goes back under this top of the channel, watch out, especially with the lower high right there. Whew. Could get nasty, but honestly, it could be very explosive, everybody. Watch out. And I would prefer to be nice and long there, but you have immediate resistance here and here. So I just said 4%, from here to there, or 5% from there to there. But if I wait to this, that's only 2.5. So I want to front run that because we have a beautiful bounce line here from which prices bounce tons. So how do I reconcile or mix together appropriately, I guess, and find a solution for this issue of the very short-term stuff I'd rather long down here, but it's not a great long signal for more than a day until it gets above there. How do I capitalize on this? Front run. And I can't even remember how I said I would do this. Oh, yeah, I do remember. There are two ways that I would front run longing here, which means I would long a little bit here, maybe 3/4 of a position with a stop under this line. Okay, just this line is, so it's not a horizontal. I can't give you one price. It depends on the hour. It will be a different price. See how the price of this is changing? I can't give you a horizontal. You have to replicate this or just make the damn line. The front run is a bounce off this, but that's not a bounce. That's not where you long. I would want it to hit, which honestly, this is close enough. This counts as a hit because there might be an EMA here. And well, no, there probably isn't because it would have hit this anyway. I would be skeptical. This can count. It's like a 50-50 or not. But what I'm looking for is a bounce. Then you take out this. So I'm on the 15-minute chart. 15-minute. On the 15-minute chart, you have what is a local high. And it kind of is this area from this point to this point. And again, this recording is on Monday, April 17th at about 2:30 p.m. New York time, 8:30 p.m. Berlin, I believe, in Monaco, in Paris time. So I want to see it hit this line, which technically this does count. So I am counting this. But if it hits it again, that's fine too, same thing. I need it to get over here and then form a higher low roughly at a 45-degree angle. But not then, because it could just go, why wouldn't I long here? You want 2 green candles on the 15-minute chart. And then enter, my strategy is 1/3 enter on a market buy at that moment in case it's a bear bottom candle. It just goes boom, no wick down. And I enter 1/3 at the half. So imagine these both are green. The next one almost always, but it's not always, which is why I long immediately with a third of my position that I want. I calculate how much, do I only want a $100 position or a $300 position or whatever. If I want a $300 position at the closure, I would wait till that 15-minute stops and then the next one appears. Usually it starts red after 2 green candles on a higher low. It pulls back to halfway or down to the candle body. So you got to imagine there's a wick to these candles. The backfill goes halfway or to the bottom and then goes up. So and if it only goes halfway, then I cancel the orders down there. And then I market buy up after it bounces from the halfway point on the 3rd candle. So the 3rd candle almost always starts off red. And I'm backfilling there because I'm very confident if it's a 45-degree angle after taking out this side. So this is the key. This is the only reason why this works. The higher low 45-degree angle, 2 green candles, enter on the backfill. Enter on the 3rd candle. It only works if you take out a local high and then form a higher low. You can't go from a lower low to a new local high that didn't pass anything and then it forms a higher low. You have to take out a local high and then, okay, does that make sense? Just the problem, it creates an edge. And if you do it over time, you will win. Like that, I'm serious, like you will. As long as you're not messing up in other stupid ways. Like you not understanding how to use the amount of leverage that you've been using, which really, given my brain wasn't working the best, I don't think 35x is what I want. I think it's better to use 20 and then 50 for a hedge in the opposite direction with less money. I think that's the way I'm going to do it. So if I'm short, I would do only 20x for my main idea, but any hedge position I make, because maybe it's going down and I'm in profit, but it's hitting a bounce point, I would long with double the leverage or 2.5 the leverage with less than half the money to expose myself less. And then if it does bounce and form a higher low, well, shit, I can move my stop up, take profit on my long while I'm covering the cost of being less profit as it goes up in my short. And then I close my long and then it keeps heading down. And then I made money on both. Does that make sense? Okay. So the front run is, actually, this isn't a front run. This is just if it does this, okay? All right, actually, no, this is the front run of the greater long signal of the fireworks and pigeons. So this is one way you can front run, not the front run of the front run, but the front run, right? Actually, this is the front run of the front run. Yeah, I am talking about the front run of the front run because this wick right here is the front run. I apologize. So I am talking about the pre-front run, the licking lips from the YouTube video that I made today, which I used as video number 1. You need to watch it before you understand this. And it's timestamped too. Okay, so this is the pre-front run. And that's how I pre-front run things. Exactly what I just said. And if it goes below there, hits the head, I'm short. Make sense? Very easy. The front run, so therefore, if I want a total position here, which I'll explain here in a second, of like a $300 position, I might only do this with a third. So when I enter those candles, I'm only working with the third. Let's say a $300 position I want to build here. If it bounces on this line created by the wick, right? In total, if it goes like this, I want to be in a $300 position here. Therefore, the front run of the front run, I can only use 1/3, which is 100. But on those candles, I can only use a third of 100 because that is my entry. My entry here is only $100. I want to do $200 after that. Make sense? All right. For example, you don't have to do it the exact same way. You could treat them as different trades. It's fine. Like, and honestly, I would be okay entering a full position there, sort of. Yeah, maybe not. Because this line is a big deal. Yeah, it's probably safer not to do. Yeah, you're pre-front and you probably don't want a full position. All right. And then after it gets above this wick and bounces on it, okay, since it's already taken out a local high, you just wait for the bounce on the 15-minute or the 5, wait for 2 green candles, enter on the backfill on the 3rd. After 2 green candles. Even though these are red, just imagine these are green. A little bit of creativity here. And that's the front run of my greater long signal. Same thing. Bouncing on that, 2 green candles, I'm entering my main position. Because fireworks on top of that tower. Pigeons, David Blaine's up there in an ice cube. Like, cool shit's happening. And that's it. Have fun. Be safe. Don't forget. Dead zones. Don't forget. Peace.